take my glasses off because my glasses put the worst glare. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I was going back and forth of what video I wanted to film because I have a list of a whole bunch of videos that I want to make sure that I film kind of like in batches, just because I don't have time to film every single day. I wish I did, but I just don't. I had asked you guys on not on Instagram, I'm sorry, on YouTube to leave me questions so that I could answer them in a video. And I wanted to post it on Instagram, but I really like to keep, I know I should like integrate them and mesh them together, but I like my YouTube community so much more than Instagram, and a lot of people on my Instagram don't even know that I have YouTube, and the people that I have on YouTube are just like ride or die. I love my YouTube family so much. So if you're ever wondering, I post a lot in like the community, let me see if it'll, there we go, like on the community tab, and that's where like I'll post like little updates and stuff if I ever need to like tell you guys something or ask a question, or if I want video ideas, I'll put it in that little section. So I posted a couple of days ago to ask me questions and I was going to answer them. So this, I don't think this will be super long. There's like 20 questions, but I want to try to give them give as much detail as I can. So I have a drink, I have a ginger lime poppy, and I have some chocolate covered peanuts from Sprouts, and we're just gonna get started. I want it to be very comfy. I have been filming literally all day. My first video, I think I started at 11 and it's 3:30 right now, so I've literally been just like filming. I've done 5 videos today to, like I said, batch film. So I wanted to do my last video something that's just more relaxed because I'm tired. I'm tired from filming all day. My throat, my voice box hurts from talking nonstop. Let's just start with the first video. This is from someone named Crystal, and she says, do you still go to church? What is your favorite worship song? And do you and Tyler share the same beliefs? If not, how do you make it work? So yes, I still go to church. I go to a church called Journey Orlando. It's here in Winter Park. If you're familiar with Orlando, then you know what that is. I've been going to this church for 3 years now. It's my home church. I was baptized there and I love it. I love it so much. It is my favorite place to be on Sundays, and if for some reason I can't make it on a Sunday, or if I'm just either tired or something, I can always watch online. If you just look up, if you're looking for a church at all or anything, I don't ever like push my beliefs on anybody. It's, you believe what you want. I do this for me. I don't do it for anyone else or to force people to do anything. You can go on YouTube and just look up Journey, ORL, like Orlando, and you can watch any of the sermons. Our pastor is super young. He's actually Puerto Rican, and he's from, I think he said Long Island. He's from New York. So he's just really relatable, really funny. Him and his wife are awesome. They have 2 kids. They're just awesome. So yes, to answer your question in short, I do still go to church, and my favorite worship song, I think right now, is Gyra from not Elevation Worship, Maverick City. Is it Maverick City or is it Elevation Worship? Elevation Worship, Maverick City. It's Chandler Moore and Naomi. Anything Maverick City, honestly, I love. I'm actually right now for 21 days of prayer and fasting for my church. They usually do it around the same time as Lent, I think. I'm not really sure. I'm fasting a couple different things, and one of the things I'm fasting along with my other things are regular music. So I'm just listening to worship music. That's it. So in the car, and I listen to worship music pretty regularly, especially like first thing in the mornings. When I'm in the car, I jam out to worship music all the time. So right now I'm only like specifically listening to worship music, and I really love Promises, also by Maverick City, with Joe and Naomi. Honestly, Naomi, she is a beast. She's so good. Do you and Tyler share the same beliefs? If not, how do you make it work? So Tyler has gone to church with me. I've mentioned that before. He watches church with me every so often, depending on if he's home or if he's doing something. He hasn't been baptized or anything, and to be honest, I don't need him to be. He respects my love of going to church. We always get into really good conversations, like really meaningful, deep conversations about, you know, my faith and stuff like that. And yeah, like that's just what it is. I would never force anyone to believe the same things that I believe. It'd be one thing, I think, if he was like the complete opposite, like, I don't know, atheist or something, but he's not. So I'm kind of whatever. How are you feeling about your wedding, and how did you plan it? So happy for you and Tyler. Thank you so much. This is from Jessica. I I'm now starting to kind of feel the stress of the wedding, I guess you can call it. And I do it like this because the wedding that we're having, everyone thinks I'm having a traditional wedding, and I say it over and over again on Instagram, on YouTube. I'm not having a traditional wedding at all. I'm renting an Airbnb. We're getting married in the front yard. My sister is ordained, so she's literally just gonna do the thing where it's probably gonna be a 5-minute ceremony, if that. I'm not having bridesmaids. I am not carrying flowers. I'm not wearing a veil. I'm not doing anything like that. I don't want to do any of that. I don't have like a dream wedding. My dream was just to get married over there. So it's pretty much as stress-free as it can possibly be because there isn't much detail that I need to deal with. Aside from COVID, obviously that's been something that's stresses everybody for a lot of different reasons. So I'm kind of slightly stressed about that. We only have 3 months to go, and I feel like that flew by. Like, we've been talking about getting married in Italy since like a little over 1.5 years, and now that we've gotten engaged and started the planning, it's like flying by. Everyone basically has their flights already. There's a couple people that haven't booked theirs yet. Leonard, there's a couple people that haven't booked theirs yet, but I'm kind of at the point now that I can't be worried about who has booked their flight, who has done this, who has done that, because I just need to focus on who actually is already confirmed to be going and make sure accommodations are fit and things like that. I've been like in contact with the Airbnb to get a shuttle and a restaurant to cater the day of and stuff like that. Overall, I'm a pretty easygoing person, but I'm starting to get a little bit stressed out just because the time is coming so quickly. How did you plan it? I feel like I kind of touched on that. We literally didn't really plan anything. I just said I want to get married in an Airbnb over here. I found an Airbnb that we had seen a long time ago. I checked for the days available. I booked it, and then I texted everyone. I was like, hey, I found the Airbnb. I booked it. We booked our flights. Here you go. Whoever booked their flights, booked their flights. Whoever didn't, like I said, I'm not stressing it because I cannot be stressed over that type of thing, because I understand getting married abroad or having my ceremony abroad. There's so many things that come into it, like one being COVID. That's number one. 2, people have to take off of work. 3, kids, accommodations, school. There's just so much. So it's like, if you can make it, awesome. If you can't, I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all. How do you save/budget your money? Do you have special ways to do it? Some people use cash envelopes, writing it down on a book, etc. I feel like this obviously changes for everyone because everyone's financial situation is different. Everyone's income is different. Everyone's debt to income ratio is different. When I was working like multiple things, when I was working at Sephora, when I was freelancing, when I was doing hair on the side, and working my business and obviously doing YouTube, I had so many streams of income that it was a lot easier to save money. I used to actually, whenever I took a client for freelancing, let's say the client paid me in cash, any payment that I was made in cash, I would put into my like drawer of savings. Me and Tyler, we also have a jar, and in that jar we put change, loose bills. Like, we find $1 on the floor, pennies, quarters, we put everything in there. And then once it gets full, we take it to Publix, into like the Coinstar thing, and we just redeem it for the actual money. That's normally how we like book vacations or anything like that. We always put just a whole bunch of change in the jar and then we go and redeem it, which is, I think, a great way. People don't realize how much builds up when you're just throwing loose change. Like, if you find a penny in your car, throw it in a jar. If you pay with something with cash and they give you coins back, throw it in a jar, and over time you will be shocked. Now that I am working solely for the business and obviously YouTube, I do get paid through YouTube, through AdSense. It's not a lot though. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to get it to where it's like sustainable and I can live off of it. God forbid anything were to happen with Brendolyn and Cora or anything like that. So I do get paid through AdSense, and I usually use that payment, like that Google payment, for my electric bill or something like that, so that I don't have to touch my like paycheck money. And then with my money that I make from Brendolyn and Cora, that is basically like how I, like my main way of like survival. That's how I, you know, pay bills. That's how I do most of my things, do my groceries, all that stuff. So that is like my livable source of income. And with that, I will normally, so what I've found has worked the best is I have a specific credit card that I use for everything. The reason that I use it for everything is because I get points on that credit card. So if I'm gonna go grocery shopping, if I'm gonna get my nails done, whenever I'm gonna do my hair, if I'm gonna go out to dinner, I put everything on that credit card. However, it's an Amex Platinum, so that credit card has to be paid off in full every single month. So it's not like I can go and spend $10,000 on it because it's an unlimited card. So it's not like I can go and spend $10,000 and then be like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna pay 100 here, 100 there. Like, no, if I'm using it to spend 10 grand, I have to have 10 grand to pay that card off. So that has helped me a lot with being like, okay, I'm only spending 600 bucks, I don't know, this month on things outside or shopping or going out to eat or things like that. I know that when that bill comes, I have to have the $600 in my bank account to pay that off. So that I feel like has been kind of helping me because I set myself a limit. So if I only want to spend 300 bucks on that card, I give myself the limit of 300 bucks. And then when I get paid, I will take 300 bucks from, you know, my paycheck and I'll pay off that card. And that kind of keeps me in like a budget sort of thing. But other than that, the best way to save is don't go anywhere, which sucks, trust me, because that's how I save the most money. I didn't go out. I cook every single day. I feel like from my vlogs, you guys know that I cook every meal at home. It's very, very rare that I go out to like go grab food. Me and Tyler, we used to do date nights like twice a week. We cut that down to like once a month, like I said, which sucks, but we're trying to save. We have a wedding to pay for and we want to buy a house. So we have a lot of like financial things that we're trying to get. And yeah, that's kind of my way of doing it. It works completely differently for anyone, for a lot of other people based on your income and things like that. But I would even say one thing that also helped me was, you know, when you get paid, let's say you get paid bi-weekly. Let's say, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out a number. You make $1,000 every 2 weeks. Pay off your bills or pay whatever you have to pay for those 2 weeks. If you have $200 left, split that in half. 50% of it, put it in savings, 50% of it, use it for something extra that you might like, whether it's getting your nails done or getting a coffee or things like that, because I also don't feel like I need to be so frugal that I don't enjoy the work, like the money that I make from my work. But I also feel like it helps keep a really good balance. So I tell Tyler all the time, if he gets paid for a tattoo, let's say he's doing an entire sleeve or something, I don't know. Let's say he's making 800 bucks on this tattoo. I tell him, put $400 in your jar, put $400 towards a credit card bill or towards your car payment, so that you have half and half and you're saving consistently and it doesn't feel like you're just putting all of your money away. It still gives you a little bit of leg room to like enjoy the money that you're working for. How does Tyler feel about the wedding? I have a lot of wedding questions, so if you hate wedding content, and I don't even provide wedding content because I don't want to, but a lot of you guys are curious about wedding stuff, so I'm gonna answer them. How does he feel about the wedding? I think he kind of feels the same way I do. We're very, very, kind of like whatever people with this type of stuff. Like, I have to figure out our marriage license. We have to go get married in the courthouse. Like, we need to do that like ASAP, and we're both just kind of like, like whatever, which I know we need to like get on it. How did he go about getting the ring, and when did he know he wanted you as his wife? So I can't answer that. I don't know the answer to that. How did he go about getting the ring? It's something that we've been talking about for a while. I said it and a lot of people were kind of confused, but us getting engaged wasn't a surprise. It's something that we were very openly talking about. We had gone, I think it was like the beginning of last year, and we opened up a joint bank account because we want to buy a house, and Tyler is a veteran, so he gets a VA loan through the Veterans Association to buy a house. It's basically one of the benefits from serving in the military. And if he and I are not married, I cannot be on the loan for the house. And I said, I am not getting a house with you if my name is not on that loan. Like, I want it to feel just as much mine as it is yours. And it's something that both of us are working really hard towards. Like, I've been trying to get my credit as high as I can. I've been trying to get my debt to income ratio to be as low as possible. Like, I've been working really hard, and if I'm putting, whether it's money or anything into it, I want my name to be on that loan, if that makes sense. So they basically said, you know, if it's you and your girlfriend, she will not be on the loan. It's only gonna be you. But if you guys are married, then it'll be both of you. So I told him, I said, if we're not married, I'm not buying the house. Like, I'm not doing that. So he was like, okay, well, we wanna get married anyway, so let's start looking into it. And we started talking about rings and things like that. And then we went one day and we tried rings on at a store in a mall just to get the idea of what I wanted basically and what he wanted to get me. He really wanted the round, like the princess cut, not the princess cut, I'm sorry, the round cut. I was open. I liked a whole bunch of different cuts. I think they're all so pretty. So I wasn't super picky about that. He was more picky about the shape of the stone. So yeah, that answers that. In the future, do you and Tyler want kids? If so, how many and what names do you both like? So maybe. I'm not 100% on kids or off kids. It changes on a daily basis. I love children and I would love to be a mom one day. But it's not something that I'm thinking about at the moment. Neither is Tyler. We're both trying to get our individual goals and our goals as, you know, a family between the two of us conquered before we even start thinking about kids. I'm not in a rush at all. Neither is he. Hopefully, you know, I can have kids. We can have a kid. I think about pregnancy and I'm terrified of it. The horror stories. I know that it's beautiful and I know that it's a miracle and it's beautiful, but it's also not beautiful at the same time. Like, I've had so many people around me pregnant and I've heard the stories, and even just like dealing with babies and toddlers, and it's just a lot. And it's something that is not even on my radar right now. Eventually, maybe one day we'd even be open to adopting, but we're not thinking about that at all right now. And we do have names, but I don't want to say what they are. Do you plan on vlogging your wedding? If so, do you plan to share with us? I don't think I'm going to vlog the wedding because there's no way I'm gonna be able to think about vlogging. I might do something on Instagram where I like compile everything into a video or something, but I'm definitely not gonna be vlogging. How do you show up for your fiance, your business, YouTube, family, and friends when you aren't feeling your best or most self-confident, or most confident self? And this might be a selfish answer, but I feel like if I am not 100%, I cannot fill it. Like, I can't pour into other people. It's so true, that saying that goes something along like you can't pour from an empty cup. When I feel empty, it affects me a lot. I go through it every couple of weeks or so. I'm actually kind of dealing with something feeling like that now. I think it's imposter syndrome, or maybe just some anxiousness, just things like that. And when I am feeling like that, the only thing that will make me better is kind of going through the motions until I feel better. And one thing that I do, I vocalize it a lot, especially to Tyler, because that is who I spend most of my time with. I will literally tell him, I'll text him and I'll be like, I'm not feeling good today, and he'll be like, what's wrong? And either we'll talk about it, or there's even times when I finish working for the day and I'll text him. Usually I call him, like we call each other when we're leaving work, and we'll just kind of chat about our days. But there will be days that I leave work and I'll text him and I'll be like, hey, I'm on my way home. I'm not calling you because I just don't have the mental energy to talk right now. And he'll be like, okay, I'll see you when I get home. So I feel like talking and making sure that people know that it's not that you're trying to avoid them or ignore them, but you are a whole human being, and you cannot be there for anyone if you are not feeling capable or strong enough yourself. When it comes to my business, it's something that's very, 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 very hard to deal with, because when you run your business, there is no one, especially like a sales-driven business, it's up to you to make the money. And we have bills that we have to pay. Bernalyn and Cora is literally me and my business partner's whole source of income. And if we're not showing up every day, if we're not giving you guys try-ons, if we're not talking about the products, if we're not making sure our photo shoots are incredible, if we're not doing reels, we're not putting ourselves out there, we're not promoting, we're not advertising, which translates in no sales, which means guess what happens? We don't get paid. We also have an employee that relies on our business to get paid. So it's like there is no option there, which is very, very tough, because mental health days are so needed. And every once in a while, Brenalyn and I will kind of just be like we'll also be very open with each other. And if she's having an off day, she'll be like, hey, I am not feeling good mentally today. I'm gonna disconnect for a couple of hours. And I'll do the same thing. If I'm just not feeling it, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna lay down for a little while. If, like, let's say I'm working from home, I'll be like, you know what, I can't. I'm sorry, I don't know why Leonard's doing this. Or I'll be like, hey, I can't right now. I need to just disconnect. And what is going on? But yeah, I feel like just being very open and honest. And there's times, like, I have a group chat with my girlfriends, and there's days I don't think I've responded in like 2 days. And it's not because I'm not mad at anyone. I am using so much of my mental capacity for work right now, especially because it's the beginning of a new year and we're trying to implement a whole bunch of things, that when I'm done working, I don't have the energy or emotional, I can't do it. And sometimes I'll talk about it and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I feel like I just need to be by myself to heal it, and I'm someone that I need to spend time alone. I cannot be around people all the time. Even with Tyler, there's times that I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go to the room and lay down, and he'll be in the living room and I'll be in the room. Any way that I can just get time by myself, because I really have to disconnect from human interaction, from social interaction completely, in order to be like that. And then that's when I can give myself 100% to anyone, whether it's friends, family, my business, things like that. What's your relationship with spirituality and or religion? This person, Erica Navarro, she asked a couple questions, so I'm gonna break them into each one. My relationship with religion, I feel like I kind of mentioned that. What's your vision for your channel? So I'm actually working really hard this year. I want, and I mentioned this in a vlog, which I'm not sure if you guys will see this or the vlog first. I want my channel to get to a place where, if God forbid something were to happen with Brennan and Cora, let's say we just outgrow it, let's say it takes its course and we're just ready to move on, or let's say like we start families and we just can't give ourselves to the business anymore, or whatever the case is. I want YouTube to get to a point that it is sustaining me financially. I do make a paycheck through YouTube based on how many videos I film, the same way everybody else that does YouTube does, based on my views, based on things like that. Subscriber count obviously has a lot to do with it, because that's when opportunities come in, which I've actually never done a sponsored post or anything like that, just because I think my channel is too small and I'm just not reaching people. But I would really love for my YouTube channel to get to a point where I can sustain myself if worse comes to worse, if anything, just like kind of like as a backup. But I also really love YouTube so much. I love filming, I love editing, I love making content, I love watching YouTube. I love YouTube. What are some of your hobbies? So something that I've noticed is that I have definitely been a person that every hobby that I've had, I've monetized, and I regret that so much, because when you do something and monetize it, whether, you know, first it was doing hair. I went to cosmetology school, I did hair for a couple of years. Then it was makeup. I was doing makeup, started monetizing that for a couple of years. Working at Sephora, you know, I was doing makeup, obviously. Now, obviously, my business, I took my #1 passion, which is style and fashion, and that's being monetized. And I feel like I've given away so many of the things that I love to do for enjoyment, and I've kind of given them, it's like the control has gone to the consumer now, which, like I said, I regret. So it's like all my hobbies now, I don't really have them as hobbies anymore. I love styling, and that's why a lot of the times in videos I won't do it, only because they're like, when I get dressed every day and I pick out my outfit, or if I'm going somewhere, I do that for me. I don't do that to make money off of it. I do it because I love getting dressed. Like I said, it's my #1 passion, is style and personal style and creating outfits and things like that. And I do that for me. I've been asked before to be like a personal shopper, if I could be a personal stylist, and I always say no, because I feel like if I do that, that's gonna be yet another thing that's taken away for fun and is turned into a job. So I love cooking as a hobby. I love music, I guess, as a hobby, but I've kind of ruined it, and I've turned every single hobby into a way to make money. And where, yes, it's a good thing because you get, you know, you're monetizing things that you already love to do. It takes the joy away from loving doing something when there's a deadline that needs to be met, or you can't create at a pace that you want to create, or I can go all into that in another video, because it's something I'm really passionate about. Who's my style inspiration? I have a couple actually, and they're probably not anyone that's like super, I mean, maybe they are people that are super popular. No one that's trendy at all. I'm not into trends like that. I love, oh my God, what is her name? Morgan Stewart. I freaking love her. She's on E. She does style on E. Love her style so much. I love Blake Lively's style. I'm not into Kardashians or really anything like that. Leonard. This is why I can't film when Tyler's around either, because he comes in and out and interrupts me. Anyways, the Olsen twins, I love them. Alice Olivia, which if you guys watched my holiday haul, my coat from that brand Because of Alice is from her. She's super cool. She's British. I get very inspired by girls in the UK, their style is just way different than people in the US. They're so classy and so posh and super timeless and elegant and just...
There's the dudes in Orlando and just...
Anyways, I've literally gotten interrupted so many times, I'm like annoyed already. Do you deal with any mental health issues, anxiety, depression? If so, how do you cope with them? I'm not... Get down! You guys, honestly, I almost feel like I need to just stop this video. I'm so irritated. I'm not diagnosed with anything. I don't think I have mental health, like serious mental health issues. I do struggle with anxiety, not on a daily basis, but I have moments of anxiousness that I'm sure a lot of people have. I'm not sure if it's considered depression, but there's times that I get just like very numb, kind of scary. I definitely struggle with imposter syndrome very, very badly. Google it if you're not sure what it is. I deal with it a lot and I hate it. Every single time I start feeling like that, I literally have to like pray or listen to worship music or something because it's like crippling almost. I kind of just let them run their course. Sometimes I'll talk to Tyler about them. Being outside really helps. I'll go on walks, listening to worship music. I will pray. Sometimes I'll just lay in bed and let myself feel it, cry, whatever I gotta do. How do you balance your personal, meaning friends, your husband and family / business life? I feel like I can only really show up 100% in one at a time. It's draining. It definitely is draining, but we try to keep the business very balanced because Brennan and I choose how we do things. We're not following anyone else's agenda. So we go super hard Monday through Friday, and the weekends we're completely disconnected. We spend time with family, spend time with friends. After work, after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, depending on the day, I'm done working. When I'm done working, I do not do anything having to do with work because that is my time with Tyler. That's when we make dinner. That's when we have dinner together. We have dinner every single night at the table together, no matter what. Sometimes we'll sit like in the living room if we're eating pizza or something like comfortable like that. And when we're at the dinner table, that's when we talk, and we don't really check our phones much. I'll usually like put my phone facing down, but that's like our time. And then weekends is like friends, family. What are your plans in chronological order for 2022? That's super detailed. I don't think I could give you that because I don't like plan out that far. It's what, January? I don't know what I'm doing for February. I don't know what I'm doing for March. The end of April, we leave to Italy. We come back in the middle of May. That's all I really got. I don't have plans that far out. If you could only pick one for the rest of your life, alcapurrias or bacalaitos? This is the type of questions I'm looking for. Funny questions. I think I would have to pick alcapurrias for sure. For sure. That is all the questions that I was going to answer for today. If you guys ever want to see Q&As or any types of Q&As, I will always post in the community section, like in the thing on my channel for questions. I really want to do a girl talk one, like one having to do with like girl stuff. It can be open about whatever. Actually, in the comments of this video, give me any of your girl chat questions, anything having to do with women, body image, anything. I would love to do that maybe next week or the week after because I'm trying to keep my videos coming out. So any girl talk, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's about feminine products, if it's about getting Brazilians, if it's about anything at all, leave them down below for me, and I'd love to compile all of them and do another Q&A so that we can talk and chat and I can answer you guys' questions and maybe give my opinions or my advice or whatever on those things. So thank you guys so much for watching. This video was so up and down, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed and be sure to leave a question for me. Any girl chat questions in the comments below. Bye.